World Bank to Osinbajo, go home, address your staggered exchange rate over bloated for subsidy. Welcome to the news and thank you for tuning in to listen. Please subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post hot juicy news updates. Please click on the notification bell. As the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo leads Nigeria's delegation to United States of America for another talk show on economic rejuvenation, World Bank Group President David Malpass has pointed out that Nigeria's economic challenges are more of internal than external. Malpass noted that staggered exchange rate and overbloated fuel subsidy are key areas to be addressed by the All Progressive Government APC-led government. Professor Yemi Osinbajo met the World Bank Group President as part of efforts to seek the multilateral institution support to end petrol subsidy, which has become a drain to Nigeria. The meeting, which took place in Washington, was disclosed in a statement posted on the World Bank website. During the meeting, Malpass emphasized the importance. President Malpass emphasized to Vice President Osinbajo that unified exchange rate will significantly improve the business enabling environment in Nigeria, attract foreign direct investment, and reduce inflation. President Malpass and Vice President Osinbajo also discussed the importance of increasing domestic revenues through broadening Nigeria's tax base and increasing the efficiency of tax administration, an official statement stated. The World Bank chief also pointed out that Nigeria, for the first time since its return to democracy and as the only major oil exporter, has not been able to benefit from the windfall opportunity created by higher global oil prices presently due to its rising petrol subsidy burden. Meanwhile, the Director General of the Debt Management Office, DMO, Mrs. Patience Uniha, has confirmed that Nigeria's total debt profile as at March 2022 stood at 41.60 trillion naira. Oni has said this during her appearance at the ongoing engagement on the 2023 to 2025 medium-term expenditure framework (MTEF) and fiscal policy paper held by the House of Representatives Committee on Finance yesterday. She attributed Nigeria's high debt profile to shortfall in revenues and the deficit in the annual budget as approved by the National Assembly. This, according to her, increased the debt stock of the country. She revealed that as at December 2020, the debt stock of Nigeria, and that includes the federal, state government, and the Federal Capital Territory, was 32.9 trillion naira. By December 2021, it was 39.556 trillion naira, and as at March of this year, published quarterly, it was 41.6 trillion. On the average, the federal government is owing about 85% of the total debt. We have been running the deficit budget for many years, and each time you approve a budget with a deficit, by the time we raise money, because when you approve it, it's giving us a mandate authority to borrow. It will reflect in the debt stock, so the debt stock will increase. Also know that states are also borrowing, so we add their own. They also have laws governing their borrowings, and as debt stock increases, so does debt service. Onto the issues of personnel, overhead, and capital expenditure are properly addressed in the budget, borrowing would not stop. Speaking further, she said, a World Bank report shows that in terms of debt to GDP ratio, Nigeria is low, but for debt service to revenue ratio, we are very high. So if you look at tax to GDP ratio of these other countries, they are multiples of Nigeria. According to her, the World Bank survey report of about 197 countries revealed that Nigeria was 195, meaning that the country was only able to beat two countries, and that was Yemen and Afghanistan. And I do not think we want to be at those places. When the MTEF for 2021 to 2023 was being prepared, it is so to say, let us begin to look at revenues, because as debt is growing, debt service is increasing. So the language we use is for debt to be sustainable is in the medium term. Sustainable means you can service your debt without difficulty, without it consuming all the revenues, because you have very little for the project. you must look at revenues very closely. And I think the discussions you have had with customs is one part of it. There are many other revenue generating agencies. So we must increasingly begin to look out for revenue for funding our activities as opposed to deficit. We talked about 11 trillion deficit and borrowing for 2023. How much is the revenue there? When we looked at the first tranche, that was 10 trillion naira for full year of subsidy and 9 trillion naira for subsidy next year, and the size of the borrowing was 62% of the budget. The responsibilities, I think, are on both sides. Query the various expenditure lines and see what it is we can handle. So if the deficit is lower, the borrowing will be lower, and that is how to grow on a slower pace, she added. Now wow, the kind of money we are the say we the owe for here. Plenty. As in, no be small money that it's going to take us a lot of time. And the thing is, we're not even building anything to, when you are taking money and you are investing it, it is an investment. You know that, okay, this money, it is an investment that from so time to so time you get your ROI. If you're borrowing to fund it, or yes, let me say yes, if you're borrowing to fund it, you get your money back. You understand? You're sure. Or let me don't say an investment. Let me say if you're building a business, that your business is also an investment. It's something that will generate revenue. Maybe you're taking money from somewhere, you took a loan, and you're funding your business, and you're doing everything you can to make sure your business stands tall. You're doing everything you can so that your business, is stands tall, and you start getting money to service your debt. You start getting revenue to, start paying off your debt. It is actually an investment. You're actually building a revenue. But Nigeria, I don't think we're actually building capital revenue that is going to help us. Capital, infrastructures. Permit me to use the word infrastructure, or capital things that are going to generate revenue so that we can service and, finish paying off our debt. I don't think we are. And this is very, very, scary. Overbloated for subsidy. Saw this wow. Buhari and his APC-led government has been feeding Nigerians with fat lies on subsidies. So they pay little money on subsidy but announce huge amounts to the poor Nigerians. Yesterday, the Nigerians Customs Service said 38 million times 180 has been the current price of a litre of fuel. You'll be surprised the amount Nigeria lose on a daily basis, and this government cannot claim ignorance of what is going on. My dear people, there is nothing to complain than to make sure we get it right into the free. This administration, they don't do their work. Then they outgoing. If it were a same country, we can say, okay, we can still do something, but there's nothing we can actually do about it right now than to make sure we are not going to be making the same mistake come next year election. All right, on this note, we have come to the end of a new